Hey there, beautiful soul. Welcome back to English with Aurora. I'm so glad you're here with me today because what we're about to dive into is going to completely transform the way you communicate in English. And I mean it. This isn't just another lesson. This is your golden ticket to sounding natural, confident, and fluent in everyday conversations. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where someone asked you a simple question in English and your mind just went blank? You knew what you wanted to say in your language, but the English words just wouldn't come out. Or maybe they did come out, but they sounded awkward, too formal, or just not quite right. Yeah, I've been there too. And trust me, you're not alone. Here's the thing. The reason this happens isn't because your English is bad. It's because most English courses teach you grammar rules and vocabulary lists, but they don't teach you the real, natural responses that native speakers use every single day. And that's exactly what we're fixing today. Today, I'm sharing with you 100 short, practical, real-world answers that you can use immediately in daily situations. These are the responses you'll hear in coffee shops, at work, in the grocery store, at the airport, during job interviews, and in casual conversations with friends. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a toolbox full of go-to phrases that will make you sound like you've been speaking English your entire life. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. Let's start with greetings and basic interactions because this is where every conversation begins. When someone says, "How are you?" most learners respond with, "I'm fine, thank you, and you?" And look, that's not wrong. But it sounds a bit robotic, doesn't it? Here are some better, more natural options. You can say, "I'm good, thanks, how about you?" Or "Pretty good, you?" Or even just "Not bad, you?" These are short, friendly, and they keep the conversation flowing. If you're feeling great, you might say, "I'm doing great, thanks for asking." Or "Fantastic, how are things with you?" Now, what if someone asks, "What's up?" This is super casual. You can respond with "Not much, just relaxing," or same old," or "Just finished work, how about you?" See how natural these sound. Let's say you're meeting someone for the first time and they say, "Nice to meet you." Your response, "Nice to meet you too," or "Likewise," or "The pleasure's mine." All of these work beautifully. Now let's move into everyday situations. Imagine you're at a cafe and the barista asks, "What can I get for you?" You could say, "I'll have a cappuccino, please," or "Can I get a latte to go?" Or "Just a black coffee, thanks." Simple, clear, effective. If they ask for here or to go, you respond with "For here, please," or "To go, thanks." And when they tell you the price, you can say "Perfect," or "Sounds good," or just "Great, thanks." What if you didn't hear what they said? Don't panic. Just say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or "I didn't catch that, could you say it again?" Or simply "Pardon." These are polite and completely normal. Let's talk about shopping now. You walk into a store and the employee says, "Can I help you find something?" If you're just browsing, say, "I'm just looking, thanks," or "Just browsing, but I'll let you know if I need help." If you do need help, say, "Yes, actually. I'm looking for a blue sweater," or "Do you have this in a medium?" When you're ready to pay and the cashier asks cash or card, you say, "Card, please," or "I'll pay with cash." If they ask, "Do you have a rewards card?" and you don't, just say, "No, I don't," or "Not yet, but how do I sign up?" Now let's move to the workplace. This is where a lot of learners feel the pressure to sound professional, and they end up overcomplicating things. But here's a secret. Even in professional settings, short and clear is better than long and confusing. Your boss asks, "Can you finish this by Friday?" If you can, say "Absolutely," or "Sure, no problem," or "Yes, I'll have it ready." If you're not sure, say "I'll do my best," or "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." A colleague asks, "Do you have a minute?" You can say, "Sure, what's up?" Or "Of course, how can I help?" Or "Yeah, just finishing this up, give me 1 second." During a meeting, someone asks for your opinion. You might say, "I think we should focus on the customer feedback," or "In my opinion, this approach makes more sense," or "I'd suggest we test both options." clear, confident, professional. Let's jump to the airport because travel situations can be stressful, especially in another language. The security officer says, "Put your laptop in a separate bin." You respond with "got it, thanks," or "will do," or just "okay." At the check-in counter, they ask, "How many bags are you checking?" You say, "Just 1 or 2 bags, please." They ask, "Window or aisle?" You respond, "Window, please," or "aisle if possible." On the plane, the flight attendant offers you a drink. "Would you like something to drink?" You say, "Water, please," or "I'll have orange juice, thanks," or "Nothing for me, thank you." Now let's imagine you're at a restaurant. The server asks, "Are you ready to order?" If you are, say, "Yes, I'll have the grilled salmon," or "Can I get the pasta, please?" If you need more time, say, "Not yet, just a few more minutes," or "Can we have another minute?" They ask, "How would you like your steak?" You say, "Medium rare, please," or "Well done, thanks." When they bring your food and ask, "How is everything?" You say, "It's delicious, thank you," or "Everything's great," or "Perfect, thanks." And here's a big one. When you finish and they ask, "Would you like dessert or coffee?" If you do, say, "Yes, I'll have the tiramisu," or "Just coffee, please." If not, "No, thank you. Just the check, please," or "I'm full, but thank you." Let's shift to social situations with friends. Someone invites you out. "Do you want to grab dinner tonight?" If yes, "Sure, sounds great. What time?" Or "I'd love to. Where are we going?" If no, "I can't tonight, but how about tomorrow?" Or "I wish I could, but I have plans." A friend asks, "Did you watch that new series?" If yes, "Yes, I loved it," or "Yeah, it was amazing." If no, "Not yet, but I've heard good things," or "No, is it worth watching?" Someone compliments you. "I love your jacket." Respond with "Thank you so much." Or "Thanks, I just got it," or "Oh, you're so sweet, thank you." Now let's talk about expressing opinions and agreeing or disagreeing. Someone says something you agree with. You can say "Exactly," or "I totally agree," or "That's exactly what I was thinking," or "You're absolutely right." If you disagree politely, say, "I see your point, but I think," or "That's interesting, but have you considered?" or "I'm not sure I agree because." This keeps the conversation respectful and open. If you're not sure, say, "I'm not really sure," or "I haven't thought about it that much," or "That's a good question. Let me think." Let's talk about making requests. You need a favor from a coworker. "Could you send me that file?" Or "Would you mind helping me with this?" Or "Can I ask you a quick favor?" These are polite and professional. At home, you might say to a roommate, "Can you grab some milk on your way home?" Or "Would you mind turning down the music a bit?" Polite but friendly. Now let's talk about phone conversations because these can be tricky. Someone calls and says, "Is this a good time?" If it is, say, "Yes, go ahead," or "Sure, what's up?" If not, "Actually, can I call you back in 10 minutes?" Or "Not really, but I can talk later." You call someone and they answer. You say, "Hi, it's Aurora. Is this a good time?" Or "Hey, do you have a minute to talk?" At a doctor's office, the receptionist asks, "What's the reason for your visit?" You say, "I've been having headaches," or "I need a checkup," or "I'd like to discuss my test results." The doctor asks, "How long have you had this symptom?" You say, "About a week," or "It started 3 days ago," or "On and off for a month." Let's go to the gym. Someone asks, "Are you using this machine?" If not, "No, go ahead," or "Nope, all yours." If you are, "Yeah, I've got one more set," or "I am, but I'll be done in a few minutes." A trainer asks, "Have you worked out before?" You say, "Yes, but it's been a while," or "Not really, I'm a beginner," or "Yeah, I used to go regularly." Now imagine you're at a party and someone asks, "How do you know the host?" You say, "We work together," or "We're old friends from college," or "Actually, I'm here with my friend Sarah." They ask, "What do you do?" You say, "I'm a teacher," or "I work in marketing," or "I'm a graphic designer. How about you?" Let's talk about apologizing and responding to apologies. You bump into someone. You say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or "Sorry about that," or "My bad." They might say no worries or it's okay or don't worry about it. Someone apologizes to you. You respond with that's okay or no problem at all or don't even worry about it. You're late to a meeting. You say I'm really sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible or apologies for being late. Your colleague responds no worries, we just started. Expressing gratitude is essential. Someone helps you with something. You say, thank you so much, I really appreciate it, or thanks a ton, or I owe you one. They respond with you're welcome or anytime, or happy to help or no problem at all. Let's talk about ending conversations. You need to leave a conversation politely. You say, well, it was great talking to you, or I should get going, but let's catch up soon, or I hate to run, but I have another appointment. On the phone, you say, I'll let you go, or I should probably get back to work, or let's talk soon, okay? When saying goodbye to friends, you say see you later, or take care, or catch you soon, or talk to you later. Now here's something really important. Sometimes you just need to buy yourself time to think. Someone asks you a tough question. You say, that's a good question. Let me think about it, or I'm not sure off the top of my head, or give me a second to think. If you don't understand something, say, could you explain that a bit more? Or I'm not following. Could you give me an example? Or wait, I'm a bit confused. Can you clarify? And if you need to interrupt politely, say, sorry to interrupt, but, or can I jump in here for a second? Or quick question before we move on. Let's talk about expressing feelings. Someone asks, how was your day? If it was good, it was great, really productive or pretty good, thanks. If bad, honestly, kind of rough or not the best, but I'm okay. Someone asks, are you okay? If yes, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, or I'm good, just a bit tired. If no, not really, but I'll be okay, or I've been better, honestly. Now let's talk about encouraging others. A friend is nervous about something. You say, you've got this. Or you're going to do great, or don't worry, you'll be fine, or I believe in you. Someone shares good news. You say, that's amazing, congratulations. Or I'm so happy for you. Or that's fantastic. And here's the final piece. When someone asks, do you speak English? With confidence, you now say, yes, I do, or I'm still learning, but I'm getting there, or even I'm working on it, but I understand pretty well. Because here's the truth. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to try. And every time you use one of these short, simple, natural responses, you're one step closer to fluency. You're building confidence. You're proving to yourself that you can do this. So here's what I want you to do. Pick 5 responses from today's lesson that feel useful to you. Write them down. Practice them out loud. Use them this week. I promise you, the more you use them, the more natural they'll become. And remember, learning English isn't about memorizing 1,000 grammar rules. It's about communicating, connecting, and expressing yourself. It's about those little moments where you respond naturally and think, wow, I actually sound like a native speaker. You're doing an incredible job. Keep going, keep practicing, keep showing up. I'm so proud of you, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep shining and keep speaking English with confidence. You've got this.